organized.
Riley, this is Bailey. Going back bench.
It's all good. Everybody good? All right. So everyone, every day I'm going to talk to you about our recovery. I'm going to talk to you about how New York City is going to come back. And I'm going to talk about recovery for all of us, every neighborhood, every borough, every New Yorker, a recovery that is fair, a recovery that includes everyone. To do that, we have to vaccinate. We have to vaccinate people all over the city. Our goal is 5 million New Yorkers fully vaccinated by June. If we can do that quicker, we'd like to do that even quicker. But that will be the beginning of this incredible New York City comeback story. And a lot of that story is going to happen right here in the Bronx. The Bronx is going to help lead the way in the recovery in New York City. And to make sure the Bronx comes back, to make sure New York City comes back, we need to reach everyone with the vaccine. The best way to vaccinate people is right in their own neighborhood. Right in their own neighborhood. There is a place for the big sites, of course, but what I like are the sites right here where people live. And right here in Co-op City is a great example. Here in Co-op City, you see an amazing site that's been set up in a matter of days. Now, we finally are getting some more supply of the vaccine. When this site reaches full strength, right here in Co-op City, 1,000 people will be vaccinated every day. 1,000 people a day here in Co-op City for this community. And what a difference maker that'll be. I want to emphasize this is one of the first places where we're also doing the homebound senior vaccinations. Now that we have the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, we can finally reach our homebound seniors. Because it is a vaccine that's so much easier to work with. It does not require the same refrigeration. It's one shot. It's one shot and you're done. And so already here in Co-op City, 50 seniors, 50 homebound seniors have been vaccinated, and a lot more will be in the coming days. And I want to thank everybody at Co-op City who has been doing this work. I know it's a labor of love. Everyone who makes this community great, who's helping this to happen for your neighbors, thank you. Now, I talked to some of the folks being vaccinated. I'm going to tell you some very, very quick vignettes. A woman named Geraldine, senior citizen. I said, were you worried about the shot? She said, I was, but I knew it was important to do, and I'm really happy now. She said, I'm ecstatic to be getting this shot. And I said, why? She said, because I can finally get only one shot and I'm done. I heard the same from William, retired police officer. He said he knew the history. He reflected on his own community. He knew the history of discrimination against African Americans. He knew about the Tuskegee experiments. He had his own questions and hesitation. But he said the more he saw as millions and millions of people got vaccinated, the more confidence he had. And he also wanted to make sure when the time came, it would be one shot only. That's what he wanted. And we talked to Milagros and Samuel in their 80s. And they were worried, and they acknowledged to me worries about the vaccine. But they said they were much more worried about catching the coronavirus. They were much more worried about what would happen to their family if they were not healthy. And so they wanted to be vaccinated, and they were happy they were here today. That's what we heard, and that's why this is so important. I'll introduce a few of my colleagues in just a moment, but let me say a few words in Spanish. Nuestro compromiso de vacunar a 5 millones de neoyorquinos de manera justa y con igualdad sigue en marcha hoy. Estamos llevando la vacuna directo a la gente, como lo estamos haciendo aquí en Co-op City. Ya estamos en el camino para recuperar una ciudad que es para todos. Now, to be a city for everyone, we need great leaders in every part of the city. You're going to hear from a few of them. I want to acknowledge the others. A very special thank you to State Senator Jamal Bailey, to Assembly Member Michael Benedetto, and also special thanks to our Health Commissioner, Dr. Dave Choksi. Media star, Dr. Dave Choksi. So, where's Dave? I call him a media star. There he is. Okay. He's like, what? He's turning to his good side. So, you know. Now, I like to give credit where credit is due. This is something I think is so important. Who makes things happen? And the person who reached out to me with passion, because everything he does is with passion, Congressman Jamal Bowman said, we need a site in Co-op City. He's been fighting to get us the supply we deserve for the whole city. He said, I'm fighting for the supply, I'm going to get you more supply, but I'll tell you what we need in our community. We need a site right here in Co-op City. And I said, Congressman, we will make that happen in a matter of days. And here we are. My pleasure to introduce Congressmember Jamal Bowman.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. I'm so excited and humbled to be here and stand here before you. I appreciate you acknowledging me, Mr. Mayor, but I can't take full credit. I'm in consistent communication with Senator Jamal Bailey, with Councilman Kevin Rowley, to not just bring resources to Co-op City, but to bring resources to our entire community. So I want to thank them both. I think we should give them both a round of applause as well. But the mayor is right. I did call him pretty passionate. It seems like only a few days ago. And the mayor shot right back. He said, if you can help us, if you can bring more vaccines to New York City, I can get you a site in Co-op City. So I got on the phone with Chuck Schumer, got on the phone with the Biden administration and others to do everything we can. We wrote a letter to the president expressing the urgent need for a site in Co-op City. And I believe it was within 48 hours that the mayor was able to deliver. So let's give the mayor a huge shout out and round of applause, please. And we're not going to stop here. You know, if we are able as elected officials to continue to work in collaboration, to continue to listen and learn from one another, and continue, as Bronx President Ruben Diaz Jr. mentioned earlier, to prioritize the communities that need us the most. And that's the key, is prioritizing. Prioritizing communities of color, prioritizing our seniors, and prioritizing those most in need. This is an exciting site because for me, as an African American who's fully aware of the history, not just the Tuskegee experiment, but the experimentation with the cells of Henrietta Lacks, the forced sterilization of the Black and Latino community, both here and in Puerto Rico. You know, I'm fully aware of that history. But as a member of Congress, I felt it was my responsibility to lead the way. So I was diagnosed with COVID myself in November. It was something I kept private until now. So I know on a personal level what that fight is all about. And after that diagnosis, I decided to get the vaccine to keep my family and community safe. And I was nervous because I know the history. And I'm one of those people who doesn't even get the flu vaccine on a yearly basis. But I decided to get this one. And I gotta tell you, I feel great. I feel normal. I'm back in the gym, which I'm really excited about. Shout out to Mr. Mayor. He leads on physical fitness.
There you go.
So I'm excited to share that with you because I want this entire community to know that the vaccine is safe, is going to save lives, and is going to help our city come back better and stronger than ever. And I just can't wait for the moment where we're all hanging out in the park in the summertime without masks, celebrating, you know, our return and what we've been through, and then getting back to work as elected officials in a collaborative way. This is a new way of doing government. This is not about scandal and credit and who's doing what and who's not doing what. This is a collaborative effort. And it's going to be incredibly powerful for Co-op City, the Bronx, the city, state, and country going forward. So I thank you all. Thank you again, Mr. Mayor. And let's keep working together.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. I want you to hear from the leading voice defending the interests of the people of the Bronx. And again, I said our recovery is going to begin in so many ways right here in this borough. Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr.
Buenos días. Buenos días. Le quiero dar las gracias al alcalde de la ciudad de Nueva York, el alcalde de Blasio, por estar aquí de nuevo con nosotros. Le quiero dar las gracias al congresista Bowman. Le quiero dar las gracias a todos mis colegas que están aquí hoy. Esto en realidad es una lección cívica, una lección donde estamos viendo que cada nivel de gobierno están trabajando juntamente para el bienestar de nuestra comunidad. Para aquellos que hablan español, para aquellos que son latinos, tienen que entender que es sumamente importante que se tomen la vacuna cuando puedan. A mami yo la pude convencer, a papi también, a los ministros hispanos. Para que nosotros podamos progresar, necesitamos que todo el mundo hagan todo lo posible si se pueden tomar la vacuna o si son hijos o hijas de gente de mayor de edad. Por favor, háganle la asistencia, hablen con sus abuelitos y abuelitas que se tomen la vacuna para que ellos se puedan proteger, para que puedan estar con sus familiares, para que podamos estar en un tiempo y una época normal como debemos y lo merecemos. I just want to say very quickly, what I saw in there, Mr. Mayor, it was a great, great sight of efficiency, a great sight of organization, to see local members of this community, Black and Latinos from Co-op City, getting and receiving shots from, quite frankly, I'm going to say, medical personnel that look like us as well. That's important. That raises the comfort level. To have a civic lesson before our very own eyes where every level of government, from the congressman to the members of the legislature in Benedetto, your assembly member, your councilman, Kevin Riley, your state senator and our county leader, Jamal Bailey, coming together, working with the city of New York. That is a civic lesson. That is what we have to do in order for us to be able to afford our community direct accessibility to this vaccine. We have to continue to educate ourselves. I was able to do it with my parents. We were able to do it with Latino ministers, working with Baptist churches as well. And what I want to say is, if you are someone who has a loved one in your family, continue to talk to them, continue to convince them. Help them do the applications online. Help them identify where they can go get the vaccine. The only thing that builds me up my anxiety after seeing this hyper-local effort is just that I can't wait until I am eligible to get the vaccine. I am waiting for the moment so that I can get it. I'm not eligible, but I'm so happy that so many people here in Co-op City are in there, and the fact that they feel good, and ultimately, like my parents, they're going to be able to spend time with their families inside the houses or even outdoors. This is what it's all about. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Congressmember, and I know that better days are ahead.
Amen. Amen. Now our newest local leader, Council Member Kevin Riley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I'll be brief, but I'm truly grateful to stand here with my colleagues. And as Congressman Bowman stated, we're taking the egos out of politics and we're coming together to be more collaborative, to bring resources back to our communities. When we work together, there's strength in numbers. There's always strength in numbers when we work together. And if we're going to bring these resources to our community, it's very imperative that we continue to work together. I'm super excited that the mayor was able to come here today in Co-op City, which is a city within itself, and we're able to vaccinate our seniors, especially our homebound seniors. When we were walking in the buildings and speaking to our seniors, there were a lot of seniors who have been in the bed for years and weren't able, a year, and weren't able to come out and get vaccinated. But now that we're able to have our homebound test and trace team go out there and vaccinate them is so important, and I'm very grateful. And I just want to give a special shout out to our River Bay Corporation team, who has been on the ground since day one and has been helping us out with getting this message out there to our seniors and helping our seniors set up appointments. So a special shout out to the River Bay Corporation team, and so thankful for the mayor to come here today. So thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Congressman Bowman. Thank you to my other colleagues in government for coming out to Co-op City today. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, everyone, as we conclude, a simple point. One of the things I heard when I talked to people in there, they heard from other people in their life. They got confidence from watching other people get vaccinated. I want everyone to spread the word. I want everyone to know about this site in Co-op City. I want it to be full all the time. And it's that word of mouth, that human, personal testimony that's going to make all the difference. But I know we're going to be able to make the people of the Bronx safe. With centers like this, you're going to see a lot more of this in the weeks and months to come, and this is how we come back. Thank you, everyone.